Okay, girls, so this is the video tour. You all have already been in my house, but I want to start off our room makeover patch by talking about how I got to each of these decisions on the house. So you guys know the outside of my house. I've got the gravel and the house is one story and really modern. So where this all came from is that the kids and I were looking for a house that we had wanted, a style of house that we had wanted. And I have a lot of leg problems. You girls know that. I tore my Achilles. I have bad knees. So I knew if this was a house I was going to live in for a long time, that I could not do a two-story house. That if I stayed for many, many years, it would become unsafe for me. So I requested we look at a one-story house. And the kids wanted something that looked cool and different. And that's how we came with this style of house. And when we looked at the outside pictures of the original house was, it was very Florida looking, very modern, and it didn't work for Virginia. And then the idea hit me. What if we make it look like a Jurassic Park compound? And the kids and I had always joked about getting giant dinosaurs in the yard. So that's kind of where this started. I tell you this story because the first requirement of the patch is to get inspired, because you don't really want to decorate just to decorate. When you decorate, you want to think about what your inspiration is. So this room, then I decided, and excuse, we're home on quarantine, so you can tell I got to do dishes later today, and I made cinnamon rolls. But I decided the main room of the house would need to be consistent with the outside, with Jurassic Park. So I didn't just want things that were dinosaurs, but I wanted things that looked like they came out of the park in the laboratory. So if you see these sketches are actually from the movie. I got permission to have them printed for private use. We've got a scientific chart there, lots of little scientific things, so it looked like you entered into Jurassic Park. So every choice in here, the fact that the counters are this way with the black, that's all intentional. Warning stickers on appliances, and these kinds of things. Then the thought was that we moved out of the laboratory where the dinosaurs were hatched into something more like a museum. And that's where we have the dinosaurs on the rock wall, Smithsonian things, and then these cases that have some toys, but also things that look like collectibles that might be in a museum. And zombies. Hi, zombies. So we've got our skulls and our skulls there. So that would be the primary area that extends down the hall. Again, the big public places that people stopping by would gather in. Let me look here. You see there's more. The light is modern looking, etc. And then the door kind of marks off that you're leaving. Okay, so the inspiration for the formal dining room is, I don't like formal dining rooms. I don't have formal dinners. I don't see it as something people need. So I was like, what do I really love? And I've really loved Lilo and Stitch since it came out. It's a really big thing with my mom and my family. And I love Hawaii. Claire's dad and I actually went on our honeymoon in Hawaii. So I really, really love tropical type things. So I thought kind of a tiki room would be a really cool idea instead of a formal dining room. And I did these cool sliding doors. It was just open or glass doors. Perry, in the model. But no, now I decided to do these because it looks cool and museum-y and I can do stuff with it. And put the big old TV so people could enjoy TV and whatnot. I haven't gotten to use this room as much as I would like, but I'm hoping that'll change when we get out of this quarantine. Okay, so down to the rest of the rooms. Oh, and you guys know you've used this bathroom when you come over for scout meetings, but that bathroom too looks like Jurassic Park because it's in the public area. So the inspiration for my bedroom is, I've always loved those 80s puppet movies. That's what my mom calls them. Like The Dark Crystal, The Labyrinth, and the only picture I don't have yet, I'm actually going to order one this week, would be The Never Ending Story. which I'm going to start putting Neverending Story stuff right there. That's what I've cleared that for. So to do that, I decided that if I made the walls look like the labyrinth, that it would look like I was in Sarah's labyrinth. In the labyrinth, the Goblin King wanted Sarah to solve. So I've made sure that I had every detail I can get from the movie while it still acts as a functional bedroom. The rugs are faux, like animal fur. I had to order these off Wish because in the movie, if you guys go back and watch it while you're in quarantine, Jareth has this dirty old castle that he lives in. And it's got, some of the brick is this brick, which is what the labyrinth itself looks like. And then some of it is a larger brick on the back of the stone castle. It's really haphazard. It's crooked looking. Like, I kind of made sure they were straight, but I also played with it a little. And he's got these skins thrown all over. And to be honest, I think I'm going to order like 2 more. Because in the movie, he has them all over the place. So very Jareth inspired. And this will eventually be Jareth's throne. Be cool if I was going to get to build it with you guys for this patch, but that's okay. The fabric for the throne is in here. I just need to build the base. So that was the inspiration for this room. So going down the hall. So you guys haven't seen this in a while, but I've been redoing it. So this room was just going to be general, kind of a geeky room. I wanted the spotlights to highlight, and then I did a big modern light again in the middle. I always get my switches mixed up. That looks kind of like a starship. But the idea was I could use very thin modern cabinets with bookshelves. I actually saw this combination of the cabinet and then the shelf with the pictures, cabinet and then shelf, on my toy group on Facebook. So I saw someone else had done this setup and it looked really cool. So I was like, I'll copy it. That looks like a really cool setup. So I wanted to get things. I got that because it looks like from Stargate. My Stargate shirt behind it. My horror movie collectibles. Some Walking Dead stuff. All the Cabbage Patch and toys from when I was a kid are actually in this cool toy box. So the inspiration for this room was just really toys. I'm sure you girls know this, but I had collected toys long before the fire. I had collected toys like this all of my life. And I hadn't had a chance to display them when Claire's dad and I were together. Claire, when your dad and I were together. So my goal was always to have some kind of room that was like a museum to my toys. So it's taken me a while to replace this collection. But anyway, so that's the inspiration for this room. And then lastly, this room right here, which thank you, Lou, you made poo. I appreciate that. 8 minutes into a video. Dogs. I wanted this to look like Daniel Jackson's office from Stargate. And if you have seen the show, or you go watch the show, he has pretty gray concrete walls. So I've kind of got that. He's got lockers set up. He has a rolling chalkboard, but that would have been too big for this office. I have a rolling whiteboard. He's got a couple of file cabinets, not with the cute stickers, but I like the cute stickers. His desk is this old military desk with the bookshelves behind it. And he has all these ancient Greek, ancient Egyptian, Chinese type things kind of hanging all over the place. And he's got weapons hung on the wall and stacked up against things like I have here. And then over there too. There's a couple more behind her. So, and then, of course, he has weapons hanging on the walls and different farming implements. So that was kind of the idea behind this room, was if I was going to work in it, I wanted it to look like Daniel Jackson's area from Stargate, because I'm nerdy and academic-y like him. Okay, so that's the tour of my house and kind of some of the inspiration behind it. So now that you girls have watched this video, I want you to think about a room that you either can redesign, possibly it's your own room during this quarantine, or that you might want to redesign, or a fantasy room in a home you have that doesn't exist. And you're going to go and start kind of planning this out and figuring out what is your inspiration first, and then gathering pictures for your inspiration. So the next video is going to show you how I gather the pictures for inspiration so that I have a reference point for the things I'm going to do. So here we go onto the computer.